गजाननं भूतगणातिसेवितं कपित्तजम्बूफलसारभक्षणम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपादपङ्कजम्। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्र प्रचोदयात्। नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णु प्रचोदयात्। आदित्याय सोमाय मंगलाय बुधाय च गुरुशुक्रशनिभ्यश्च राहुवे केतुवे नमः। ओम शांति शांति शांति।
How do you start when you see any chart like this suddenly, coming out of the blue? You have no clue about what it is, and one point, there's nothing to be afraid of.
Sir, I'll just see the general outlook of the chart, like whether most planets are in 6, 8, 12, or whether they are in 3 in Kendra, Lab.
Okay, from that, whatever you see, just make 2-3 statements. Okay, just a minute. You made some statement. From that, just derive something and make some statements. Even if you are wrong, no issues.
So, for example, Saturn and Ketu are sitting in the 6th house, and Venus is sitting in the 8th house, and then Rahu is sitting in the 12th house. So many planets are sitting, in the 6, 8, 12, and Saturn is already the lord of the 4th, if I'm not wrong, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 4, and that is sitting in the 6th house. So that means diseased mother, or it can, in a way, some affliction to the mother, and especially 4th house is domestic life, is sitting with Ketu, which definitely represents abortion and separation. So there is some issue with that.
Didi.
When you said abortion, what was the logic you used? Oh, you said 5th house lord, huh? Okay.
Yeah, so that I saw from the video. So
5th lord in the 6th. Okay.
Yeah.
But Manoj, is it a male or female?
It's a female chart, sir.
Female chart, okay. What did he mention? I didn't. Yes. Wait, one by one. Yeah. Somebody else I can hear. Who is
sir,
it?
This is Purnima, sir. I would say, sir, I would start with the ascendant and the strength of the ascendant lord, sir.
Okay.
And here the ascendant lord is Venus, and is sitting in its own house, in 8th house.
Okay.
So in a way, while it is, of course, Venus in 8th house, ascendant going in 8th house, but having gone in its own house, really it doesn't lose that much of its significations. And I cannot say that the ascendant is weak, sir. And then if we see the ascendant lord in the D9, sir.
Okay.
We D9. See the placement of, we see, just to have an overall assessment of how the ascendant lord is for this Patri, because that is the pillar to begin with, sir. In D9, though, it's debilitated, sir.
Okay.
So, to some extent, and also in D9, if you see, sir, it is the 8th, it's with the 8th lord in Navamsha. So to some extent, Venus has become weak in D9, sir. So while according to Rashi, the lord is strong, but there is some weakness to the Lagna lord, sir. That would be my first observation, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Purnima. So you're saying the Lagna is strong. Okay. So when the Lagna is strong, so usually Lagna strong means they're survivors. They can fight against all odds. They can basically, establish their self-worth and all that. Okay. So the surviving quality increases if the Lagna Lord becomes strong.
Absolutely, sir. So only thing is, in this horoscope, then second step I would take, sir, is to look at the Rashi. Chandra Rashi, and Chandra Rashi in this, sir, is Scorpio, and their moon becomes debilitated. So it's a stark contrast, sir. Mind and body are just opposite. So while if you look at it like that, sir, Mars is not even aspecting. And if you look at, from a Scorpio perspective, I don't see a Neej Bhang or anything of the kind, at least on a glance. So
Okay.
this person will be having very contradictory issues. The sync between mind and body will not be there, sir.
Okay.
Guruji, can I go ahead?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, can I say more than one point? Can I say everything I'm seeing?
What do you
Guruji,
want?
screen meche.
One minute.
Image.
I'm just trying to copy it 1 second because it is on another open page. Where did it go? MR, he said, right? So maybe.
I think it's in Safari, Guruji.
Okay, we'll keep it here. Itself. Okay.
Yeah. So first, as I said, Lagna Lord in the 8th by itself, it makes the person sickly and sudden events, prone to sudden events. Now, one big thing I'm looking at is Mars in the 9th house. So definitely for father, it's not good. Either the father is away or the father is no more. And also in 2 slokas, it's saying less parental happiness. And moon that is representing mother is in debilitated sign. Also, if you look at it, Saturn, the 4th lord is in 6th house and it's with Ketu. And that is another bad thing for parents. So this person definitely had some issues with parents, we would definitely see. And also the left eye. And Jupiter on the 3rd, we have seen in our discussions that it's also something that can cause cancer. So that is also a sudden event that might pop up in this person's thing.
Okay.
And the 11th lord has gone to the 10th. So all these outlines are there. So the issues with parents being especially with father or gurus and teachers, that being the first. Second, moon being debilitated, which means mentally not good. And also 9th house also represents the womb of the mother because 5th to 5th. So if this person, decided to have a child, it might end up in a situation where they have to go through C-section, or they may. And Saturn and Ketu can also represent issues with bones and things of that because it's in the 6th house.
Okay. Thank you, Prahlad. So we are developing the background, right? Now, very important point. Yeah, 1 minute. Very important point for all the students. Very important point is when somebody's horoscope is being read, you always have to give the maximum importance to the current time. Why would the person come to you? Why would the person want a reading? Right? So always keep an eye on the running dasha and antardasha. First, always keep that as one. Like somebody began the reading by saying, I'll always look into 6th house, 8th house, and 12th house. Immediately your eye should go to the dasha and antardasha. Keep that in mind. Okay. Now continue. Who's next?
Sir, I want to say one point. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The 4th lord and 5th, Saturn and ascendant degrees are almost same, sir. It is very strong. It gives strong results.
What do you say? Fourth
ascendant degree and
for those of you, for those of you who do not know this concept, it is when you do the bhava, there's something called the bhava madhya, right in the middle of the house, equal house divisions. Whatever is the lagna degree, if a planet is in the same degree, it will be in perfect whatever house it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Saturn is in 6th house. So this Saturn will give the full result of the 4th lord in the 6th and 5th lord in the 6th. That's what she's trying to say. Okay, please continue.
Yes. And this 5th lord in the 6th is 5th lord is also, if we take 5th lord as Rahu, then Rahu is in the 12th, so 5th lord is in the 12th. One thing for the 5th house, it acts as negative point for the 5th house. Not only Saturn, but also if you take Rahu as 5th lord, both are having problem, and that is one thing. And 5th, the Sarvashta points of the 5th house and 9th house are very less. Okay. One more thing. And the 6th, that's it, sir. I want to say that. And we can see D7, sir. If we want to see more towards the children aspect, and we can see the D7 also.
Adding on to Pavani ma'am's point, 5th lord in the 6th. So there's a chance for them to lose their child, or they may be enemies with their own son. And right now, Ketu Dasha followed by Sukran Antar Dasha is going. So we are looking at second house. So Ketu is also the second lord. So second lord's Dasha, and since it's in the sixth house, so sixth house is getting activated, second house is getting activated. And Sukran is Lagna as well as the eighth house. So eighth house is also getting activated here. So eighth house, the individual, the second house and the sixth house are all getting connected. And if we look at Ashtaka Varga, the 11th house is only 25 points. So that says that they may not get everything fulfilled. And 12th house has more points. So more expenditure might be seen. And also the 7th house has more points, 8th house has more points, and 6th house also has more points. So all this is saying more prone to diseases, as well as fear, and things of that sort. But Lagna having 29 points is, I guess it's okay. Maybe some saving grace.
Yes, sir.
Has
One
very
small point to be added. Since the 10th Lord is also more like Ashtak Varga score of 10th is more than the 11th, it clearly indicates she'll have to do more hard work and she'll get lesser returns compared to that. And one more saving grace, as mentioned by my previous peer, that of course, ascendant being strong in Ashtak Varga. And if you see the Shad Bal, nothing goes below 100%. So none of the planets are very weak. So they are, especially the ascendant of the Shad Bal is quite high. It's almost 199, almost 200%. So in Rupa strength, it's quite high. So that is also a saving grace. So even though life is not good for her, she'll somehow brave through.
I think there could be some issue with Shadbala when it comes to this Sri Jyoti software, according to Guruji. So we also need to check how it looks like in Jehora.
Okay.
Guruji.
Not able to copy paste it. Okay. Tell me.
Guruji, this person, Ketu and Venus Antardasha, Maharishi Parashara is telling, if 8 from ascendant, Venus 8 from ascendant, there will be quarrels with kinsmen, headache, eye troubles, heart disease, deformation, loss of wealth, and distress to cattle and wife. So here
you're reading from Dashadhyaya, right?
Yes, Guruji.
Okay.
Even Ketu is the second lord, and it is with Saturn, and the second lord Dasha is running, and Venus is the 8th lord. So totally, the lordships are not so favorable for the native.
Sir, if I may say, sir, Ketu in 6th house, though, it's 6th house's enemies and health, those issues will be there. But Ketu in 6th house, sir, won't be that bad. She'll, the lady will have to put a lot of effort, but the dispositor of Ketu in 6th house has gone to 3rd house, Jupiter in its own house. There will be definitely issues faced with respect to enemies and health, etc. But with a lot of effort, she will have to overcome it. And there'll be a lot of secret activity going on right now, given that Ketu-Venus period will be running, sir.
Okay. But the Antardasha Nath is Venus, right? So Venus is, according to what Harini read from the text, it's unfavorable time. Okay. So we have something where the planetary positions will mean something, which is already like by doing the regular concepts we can understand. But over and above that, the Dasha and Antardasha gives a very distinct result during that period alone. So that gains a lot more importance than any other method of reading. Why now? Why is it only now? Why in Ketu Mahadasha? What is Ketu Dasha wanting this person to go through? That way. Okay. Anybody else? Please raise your hand. Now we'll have this system where you raise your hand, and then the next person can open up the mic and.
Sir, I want to say one thing, sir.
Yeah.
Saturn has 88% aspect on Venus, sir. Venus Antardasha is running now.
Okay.
Yes.
Which one? Here, huh? Okay.
Yes, sir. Saturn has 88% aspect on Venus, and Venus Antardasha is going now.
Okay. So what is Saturn?
4th lord and 5th lord for her, sir.
Okay. Is that good or bad?
It's not good, sir. Saturn aspect is not good.
Okay. So you are saying Venus is afflicted now.
Mhm.
Simple rules of reading the dasha, right?
Yes. And the Saturn is the most benefic planet for Libra Lagna, sir, and it is in the 6th house. That's one more thing.
That's a very important point.
It is big loss.
That the most important planet for this Lagna has gone to the 6th house and is in the axis of Rahu and Ketu.
Yes.
Okay, that's a very important. So whatever we saw from Lagna, okay, Venus is okay and all that. When you go through the Shadbala, I think Shadbala is here, right? On the top. Vimshapaka is the bottom one. Okay, so Venus is standing tall. But in spite of it, the placement in the 8th is also to be considered. Okay, difficulties. Lagna Lord in the 8th.
So Ketu in 6th and the Lord of the 6th, Jupiter is aspected by Mars. Mars is a functional malefic for this Lagna.
Okay.
And Mars aspect 100% on Jupiter.
Mars aspect 100% on Jupiter. Okay.
Which is not favorable. And Mars aspect Rahu too.
Mars aspect Rahu by 4th house aspect. Okay.
So Ketu Dasha will be very challenging.
Can you say something more about it? Why it would be challenging? What are the challenges?
The challenges would be more towards, because Ketu is afflicting the 5th house, 4th and 5th.
Okay.
So the challenges would be more towards the children's side.
What about 4th house?
4th house is a domestic environment, so it would affect.
Okay. So when you say 5th, 4th and 5th, you say 4th house some 2-3 words, 5th house some 2-3 words, and then say all of them will be in trouble.
Yeah. The reason why I leaning towards more on the 5th house because the Mulatrikona.
Okay. The more important is the 5th house, more than the 4th house, because Saturn has its Mulatrikona there.
Yes.
Sir, and more than that, this 9th house is also having Mars, sir. It's Bhavat Bhavam.
Okay.
So 5th house matters.
Okay, already fifth lord is in affliction, then 5th from the 5th has a Mars in it. Okay.
And Mars is aspecting the 4th house also.
Mars is an enemy sign.
Yeah.
Mars is an enemy sign. Mars considers, right? Okay. Okay. Now Purnima wants to say something.
Sir, because 4th and 5th Saturn has gone into 6th house with Ketu, sir, can we also see a possible dispute within family and with children? I don't know the age of the lady in question, but
Manoj, what is the age?
She is 25, sir, 96 born.
It's 96.
Oh, very young. Oh my God, 1996 born. Okay, it is there right in the middle, right? The date of birth.
Manoj, also please tell us how accurate we are, maybe later.
No, we'll wait for some more time.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we got some clues from Ketu Mahadasha. Okay. So if Ketu is the problem, do you think we should look into any other chart to find something about Ketu?
Sir, Varman here.
Yes, Varman.
So, yeah, because that's what I wanted to say. She came in Ketu Venus Dasa. The previous Dasa is Ketu.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look into Navamsa, it is actually placed 12th. The Ketu is placed 12th from the ascendant. And also in the Rasi chart, the 7th Lord Mars goes to its enemy house. So I think she's she must be going through some point an issue with regards to her partner.
Life partner, marriage.
Marriage, yeah.
Okay.
And this is supported by the other factors which was discussed earlier by other people, like the 4th house, 2nd house affliction. And
okay, so you're going to add it up to this, that
Yeah.
there is a home problem, there is a children problem, and so on. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it when you said when you said first something you corrected, right? You said something and then you corrected it.
No, I said
Not I think. I think. Yeah, that's a very nice way of getting into astrology, because you don't have to, be worried at all. It's just a rule that we are following, right? So we can boldly tell. It's not even I think. Okay, you don't have to say I think 1 + 1 is 2. I know for sure it is 2. Like that, you should say.
Yeah.
So that's a very nice correction you did. And see, now we are having Rahu and Ketu on 6-12 axis. The same 6-12 axis is maintained in the Navamsha.
Yeah.
And sir, Venus is debilitated in Navamsha, sir.
That's another point. Okay. But see, the hero is only Ketu, right? Because Ketu Mahadasha is going on.
Mm.
So all our focus should be on Ketu. So now we got enough evidence about Ketu in the 12th. So Rahu Ketu is in 6-12 axis. Okay.
So
Active.
I think-
Yeah.
Sorry, I was saying, I think more than the children, it would be issue with related to the partner. I don't
More
think it
partner.
would-
More partner. Okay.
more partner oriented. So,
Okay.
and that is also supported by in the 7th Saptamsa chart also a little bit. The Lagna Lord go. Usually,
Wait,
that
do we have the Saptamsa chart? Is this the Saptam? Okay, the Saptamsa. Now we are seeing Saptamsa. Okay.
again Rahu Ketu in the
axis,
11th axis. Lagna Lord going to the 12th house.
Mars debilitated.
Oh, Rahu Ketu is
In
just not
Muslim
letting
axis.
go. Okay. It is having some issues. So for a person like this, what will be the first defense you will say? Because we are only reading the chart. We are only studying doing the diagnosis part. Medicine part, what will be the medicine part?
Ganesha pendant.
Okay. One more?
Shani Homa for Shani, but because Dasha is going again, Ganesh Homa and Ketu Nag, something related with Nag.
Nagapratishtha.
Nagapratishtha,
No,
yeah.
Naga Pratishtha is done only for 5th house. Don't ever recommend
Sir.
Naga
First
Pratishtha for anybody other
No,
than
no.
5th house.
Not
Only
Nag Pratishtha.
Naga Puja. Naga Puja
Yeah.
can be done. Yeah. Naga
Something
Puja
with
is
Nag.
different from Naga Pratishtha. Okay. In terms of God, Shiva is better or Durga is better?
Guruji, Parashara Rishi is telling Durga Pata. Durga.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Harini has given a valid statement that before we use our common sense approach to astrology, always stay with the book. Whatever the Rishi said, first you give that remedy to the person, because it is something which has come from an extraordinary person. So we should give a lot more importance to that rather than trying to figure out which god is better, because he said that for this period, right? Durga. So you have Durga Sapta Sloki, of which one paragraph is Sarva Mangala Mangalya. May everything return back to its, prosperity. Sarva Mangala. Let everything be auspicious, like that. And a little bit into spirituality. A little bit about, okay, this is the nature of life. This is the nature of, very life itself. This is about partnership and children. This is Maya, which we discussed in the beginning. I'm also able to see through this. We should say that, but it's very hard to practice. It's not so easy, but it takes some effort. So Ketu wants us to learn this, and in this avatar, this person has to learn. You say, yeah, I can understand this. It's not. I mean, I don't have to be so keen on this, but as the person goes through it, it will be really very troublesome. So only God. First, you have to seek God's help, Ganesha, and not to, give up. Have a lot of faith in God, and read a little bit of Bhagavad Gita every day. Then this, as per Harini, straight from the books, BPHS, Durga.
And brown colored cow.
Sir,
Did he
catch
say
that?
Huh?
The remedial measures to obtain relief from the above evil effects are performance of Durga Pata and giving away tawny colored cow or female buffalo in charity.
Some cow, okay, but because the color is not that important. So I think cow is
Shukran.
because it.
Shukran is there. That's why we are going for colored cow.
Okay.
If we go black, then we are invoking Shanishwara.
Certain. Okay. Whatever it is. Okay, there is a cow. The cow is related because this Rahu Ketu stuff and all the sin portion is usually due to the poison. Okay, from our past lives. Opposite of poison is milk, and therefore cow produces milk, and that is the main reason for always recommending cows. And the human civilization is surviving because of cow, because mothers don't give enough, don't produce enough milk for the baby. We need the support of the cows. So in several ways, it is a great remedy. If money is not there, you don't have sufficient money to offer a cow, I would always say feed the cows in Goshala, existing cow shelters. I always do that. So please, whenever you talk to anybody, you consider their background. If they are having the money, then they can do it. Otherwise, they go to the next level. And every day morning, a lot of spiritual things to be involved. Evenings, Durga. Mornings, Vishnu Sahasranam. Is a standard approach in Ketu Mahadasha.
So what about wearing cat's eye, like the gemstone?
No, never. Cat's eye should never be worn for Ketu if Ketu is in 6, 8, and 12. Okay, please don't ever recommend cat's eye. It will become double the problem.
That's I had some conflict. That's why I asked.
Yeah, it should never be recommended. Ketu can be cat's eye can be given for Ketu only if you are determined that there is a yoga out of Ketu. But this is just it's the opposite, because Ketu is combined with Saturn, the 4th lord and the 5th lord and the 6th. And then we already estimated Ketu is having some problem. Then surely Ketu gem cannot be given. Or there's another trick also to this. Ketu is like Mars. If Mars is a functional malefic, as in this case, yes, Ketu becomes also a functional malefic by definition, because he is the lord of the second house, Marakasthanadipati. So the person will be going through high tension. Some good friend should console them, always be in touch with them, and say, even this shall pass away. Okay, and we should not pass away. Only this should pass away. We stay. Like that, we should always encourage them. Don't worry. You will soon find out a way. There must be a way.
Sir, if the ascendant, suppose if any ascendant, for example, here only Venus is in Dushtana 6, 8, 12. So should we recommend ever for wearing a gemstone like diamond?
In this case, yes. Because whenever the Lagna Lord is in 6, 8, and 12, the Lagna Lord's gem should be recommended, unless the Maharishi has mentioned it as functional malefic. Neutral, you can wear. And benefic, without doubt, you can wear. But if he has said it is, even though Lagna Lord for Rishabha Lagna is considered, Venus is a functional malefic, then diamond is bad. So the gem therapy is to be used on two, considering 2 points in the background. One, they're comfortable, they can buy the gem. Otherwise, already they're in trouble. So you make them, give them this remedy, they will even borrow money to do it. Instead of that, ask them to use those colors and not wear the opposite. This person should never wear red colors at all, because Ketu also is like Mars. So the red energy of Mars and Ketu will be high in this person's life. So donate red. If a man, will say donate blood, because 2nd lord and 7th lord, Marakasthanadipati. If non-vegetarian, will say don't eat non-veg on Tuesdays. Don't go to slaughterhouses. Don't be involved in any blood, like that. So depending upon if they are South Indian or closer to Tamil Nadu, will say worship Muruga, Skanda, Subramanya, Kartikeya, many names of the same god, and ask them to do some special extra prayers on Mars Day, Tuesdays. So Ketu owns Vrishika. The Mars is also. So whatever remedies you know for Mars, you can give it for Ketu. And red coral is bad, therefore cat's eye is also bad.
Guruji, exactly, Maharishi has used this word, Durga Devi Japam Chareta. So this person has to do Durga Devi Japa.
Correct. If you know anything, Harini, I know you read a lot of these things. So can you just give some example, or she has to Google and find out? But I think Sarvamangala Mangali is part of Durga Sapta Sloki, right? which is one of the most popular mantras for the goddess.
Yes,
Does that-
Guruji. And
yeah,
also maybe Lalita Sahasranamam.
Correct.
Which is also-
Lalita Sahasranam in the evenings and Vishnu Sahasranam in the mornings. It helps a lot. Mhm.
The UL is negatively impacted by Mars. So
Okay, because UL is so UL. Let's see whether UL is done properly. The 12th, yeah, it's done properly, right? So UL is in Taurus, and the second from UL is in a dual sign, and Mars is there. So Mars afflicts the UL. But initially, UL has Venus in it, so that's a plus point. But Mars in the second is a problem, right? Mm.
Well, in the Upapada chapter, Sage talks about the UL Lord being in own house. Like a
Actually, he
house of-
says good, right? He says is good.
The own house, the constant significator. I mean, okay.
It's according to that
No,
it's good, but
he
according
says
to
it's not that good, sir.
It doesn't
I
sound
think
like
he says it's
I mean,
not
the
that.
translation doesn't sound like it is good, sir.
what does he say?
Laws of there is no doubt that the native will be devoid of.
Can you read the entire line?
Okay. Even when the planets that are constant significators of wife occupy their own signs, there is no doubt in it that the native will be devoid of his wife in the later half of his life.
Is it referring to the Upapada Lagna alone, or is he generally saying?
Yeah, Upapada or a second from Upapada, if the Lord is in the own sign. Because in this case, Upapada Lord is also Venus, and Venus is also the constant significator of wife, I mean the partner, spouse.
Okay.
It's in the own sign.
There is another line which says, if it is own sign or exalted, it is good.
Exalted is good.
Oh, but not own sign.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guruji, 2 points. It says extramarital affair. Chances are there. 2 slokas are mentioning that.
No, that we can change it to, if the marriage fails, she will get married second time. So we have to be very careful when we make statements about extramarital.
Oh yeah, it could also be in past relationship she might have had.
Instead
before
of that, we should say one more person in life, like that we can say, or one more relationship, because sometimes when they don't have the extramarital affairs, extra something, they'll feel, what is this astrology all about?
Guruji,
So-
one more point. When we look at slokas, some of them it's more related with the mind. Like it says they'll anything that says affliction with the mind. Can we say that those part of the sloka will only affect during the Antardasha or the Mahadasha, and it may not be applicable all the time?
Yeah, correct. It will be waiting, because once you get something in connection to the exact words that the Maharishi has said, and if that is possible from the horoscope, that will happen. Not that it will happen all the time. Okay. And any affliction will be waiting always for an opportunity to express itself. Usually, see, suppose I have a knee injury. When you make me walk upstairs 4-5 staircase, then the pain will come. Otherwise, no, I mean, I don't even know it. Okay.
Right.
So
So
it
this
will be
person
waiting for
has-
an opportunity. Yeah.
This person has anger being mentioned because Jupiter on the 6th Lord in the 3rd, as well as
Okay.
Lagna Lord in the 8th.
Lagna Lord in the 8th. But Lagna Lord in the 8th, you'll have to downplay, because usually when you bring negative qualities, when it is an own sign, it doesn't give that much, it seems, of the anger. Whereas if
Yes.
it is an arch rival's house, it will give. So something more, you should connect with the, some malefics. Then it will become more and more. But to some extent, you are right. It will create health problems. It will create some unwanted experiences and so on.
So can we add the point that this person is more prone to anger during Venus Antardasha?
Yeah,
Because-
we can say that.
Right.
Yeah, because now it is Venus, and we know the when who read it? Who read the text? Deepa read it, I think, right? I don't know who read it. Read the BPHS text, or Harini read, I think. Okay. So when the bad results were read out, then we'll have to stick to that only, because it's just placed in the eighth house. That is the reason why when the student said in the opening, I'll always look out for the planets placed in 6, 8, and 12 first. That rule is very useful rule.
So can we add just one more point? The 12th house of beds and comfort, Mercury goes to 10th house, and it doesn't receive much benefic aspects.
You want to see the aspects on Mercury? Okay, here is the aspects.
Yeah, it doesn't receive much benefic aspect and only malefic aspects.
Okay.
10th has gone to Kendra, right? Then it is a one positive point.
No, and according to this chart, Manoj, Mercury is receiving aspect of Jupiter, right?
81%.
81. But it's very hard to find out by using the normal finger counting method. Okay.
Yes.
Only by the Parashari method, you can say. So Jupiter is looking. Therefore, there is a chance. There's a great chance that even if something goes wrong in the marriage, they can always straighten it out later on.
Who is influencing the 12th house, sir? Which planet?
No, 12th house you want. Oh, you want the 12th house. Okay, here is the 12th house. 12th house is influenced maximum by Mars, obviously, because it's by finger counting itself, we can say that.
And Saturn is
yeah, Saturn is also. How does Saturn? Yeah, Saturn straight. Saturn straight and Mars with his fourth house. Okay, without the table, the same result you will get. Okay. These are all bad, right? Natural malefics looking at the 12th. So there is some trouble.
Both I think times are same.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a question about remedy. When it comes to the remedy for Upapada Lagna, we have to consider more on the planets sitting on it rather than the Lord of the...
No. Deepa, whenever we give the remedy, stick to the basic methods, the Lagna, the Parashari method, that's all. Upapada Lagna is only to know the intensity of something. If there is a malefic in the second house is a double-bodied sign, we have to encourage her in case there is a problematic marriage. Don't lose heart. We'll remove this man and get another person. We should only talk like that because already she's got permission for a second marriage.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Because straight away, even without Upapada, the 7th Lord is in a dual sign, Mars. So you have to say only second marriage is sure. So don't lose heart. Okay, so let's try to sort it out. But the separation won't be so easy because Ketu is also the 2nd Lord and the 7th Lord. Maraka, high tension. So first, every time 2nd house Lord and 7th means you have to say Mahamrityunjaya only. And always teach them the logic that life is more important than anything. Existence is more important than anything. We are not supposed to think about ending our lives because Ketu will give that thought. What is the point? We should say only this story is bad. I'll end the story, end the marriage and start a new story. This movie, I got into this theater. I find it is very useless. I should not kill myself. I should kill the movie. Switch off the TV. Change the channel. You understand? Now we'll ask Manoj whether we are on the right track. Even I'm running out of ideas. Manoj.
The SAV is more for 7th house. It will help, right? Can we take that?
What, Deepa?
The SAV score, the Sharvastaka score, if it's more for 7th house, will that help?
Definitely it will help. It will definitely help in restructuring the 7th house problems. Okay. Yeah.
Also, 7th Lord is aspected by Jupiter. We need to consider that.
So that means solution is available, right?
Yes.
When Jupiter aspects the 7th Lord, a problem of the 7th can be solved with guidance. So throughout this dasha, they have to be guided. And the only issue is it is happening in Venus. Lot more years to spend in Ketu Mahadasha. That's the only concern. Because if you quickly recommend a second marriage, you have to very carefully select the spouse because things can go wrong because she's still in Ketu. Right? because you use common sense. So many years left. You cannot ask anybody to wait that long for a second marriage.
Sir, also as per Kala Purusha, the 12th house again has Saturn and Ketu influence.
Huh?
As per Kala Purusha, the Saturn and Ketu influence is found in 12th house again, house of conflict.
Oh, okay. If you take Kala Purusha, the 6th and 12th is afflicted. Again, you get the same logics. Yeah. Correct. See, one
And
thing,
also-
as far as this chart is concerned, the D9 chart shows that she's not going through this because of Ketu Venus. It's actually done in Ketu itself. This marriage.
Yeah. That's why, because 12th house.
Because 12th house in both the charts. Venus is just doing a kind of a follow-up. And initially Venus itself, some students said, I don't remember the name. I'm sorry about that. Venus is in the 8th and in Nicha in Navamsha. In Navamsha, if a planet gets Nicha, of that divisional chart, something negative will happen in its Venus period. That's the meaning of that. Okay. We'll ask now Manoj, because Manoj, I think we have done enough study. We will ask him what is right and wrong about what we said.
Sir, most of them, found out the root, problem. Okay.
Oh, is it? Okay. What is the root problem?
So this person got married in 2020 January month. Okay. And,
20 January.
Yes.
20 January is what? Mercury Saturn.
The end of Mercury Saturn and starting of Ketu almost.
No. There is wait. Ketu is 2020, right?
Yes.
What did he say? Year is?
January 2020, she got married.
Oh, okay. The last part of Mercury.
Yes, Mercury Saturn.
At that time, did she think that this is a great marriage?
I think so, sir, because, the family that she got married to is,
Manoj, you'll have to type it out because you're breaking
Your
up.
voice is breaking.
Yeah, voice is breaking. So just type out what you had to say.
family.
Wait,
And she did feel that, this marriage is going to be very good.
Okay. That was but the problem is when you marry in the Antardasha of a planet placed in 6th house, the marriage runs into trouble because the Antardasha happens to be Saturn. So whenever you do timing of marriage, please let everybody know, please don't get married in planet place in 6th house in its Antardasha. Especially for her, Saturn is a big minus. Okay.
Also with Dasha Sandhi coming in, I think they should not have married. Maybe the person did not visit an astrologer.
Now, one more thing, that is possible. And moreover, Saturn, when Mercury Saturn ended, immediately Ketu is getting in. So it's like Ketu is waiting, right? Both of them are in the same place, in the same 6th house together and so on. So just a continuity, very sad about that. But the best,
Saturn in the 11th house in Navamsa, it doesn't play any role, isn't it?
Which one?
Saturn was in the 11th house in the Navamsa chart.
Okay, here I'll teach you a rule. Always, the order of thing is, if you see something occurring in the Rashi chart and the Bhava chart, and it gets contradicted in the Navamsha, you should give importance only to Rashi and Bhava. Whereas if you don't see anything there, but if you see only in D9 chart at 12th house placement, you should give D9 the importance. It's always in that order. Okay. This is the reason why this chart is so big and every other chart is so small. Do you see that? More importance is given to the basics of the chart itself, not the Navamshas or any divisional chart for that matter.
So if you have a good combination in Rasi and Bhava and in the Navamsa, it is
bad. Then it is a letdown. There's still a warning. Don't get married in this period because it will become the finer of what is mentioned in the D1 chart. It is a finer of that, a finer picture. So if the picture there itself is so bad, what is finer of that? you cannot take it like that. That itself is damaged. You get it?
Okay.
Yeah.
But this is only with respect to marriage you have to take. You look into the D9, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
So Rashi is the final authority then, right?
Wait. Let Manoj finish everything. What is the actual? Okay, we know it is running into trouble. What is she planning? Is divorce going to happen? In which case, you can encourage her by saying she will definitely get married again. This time, if you know her well, you can guide her on how to select the spouse very carefully.
So the problem
this has happened.
The problem is they have taken all her jewels and everything, sir, and they are looking for a mutual divorce without giving any alimony or the jewels that she brought in during her marriage.
That's very sad because you are having the loss, the sixth house enemies, 6-12 axis, the loss of everything. Fifth Lord, Puro Punya, all that.
Sir, if we take...
Why doesn't she go to the court?
That is what, sir. Now they are looking like, her parents are very supportive, both her father and mother, and she is the youngest in the family. And they are planning to go to the court after Diwali, it seems. So her question more was, how is her future going to be? And how can she, win over this current issue?
It won't be easy.
Sir, second lord in the sixth with respect to Ketu, sir, here it says if second lord is in the sixth, if Yuti with a malefic, there will be loss through enemies apart from mutilation of shanks. I don't know, but there is a loss through enemies, sir.
Mutilation of the shanks. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is with respect to second lord in the sixth, here it is Ketu. It is in combination with Saturn.
Usually when you get some statements like this, with whoever is your enemy, you should stay at a distance, not go near. You understand? So we should not take a chance. So physically, one could be injured because shank means legs. I think you are reading straight from the book, right? So
it's not, it's from the book, sir. Yeah.
Translation, right? Translation, he says shank.
And Saturn for legs is also nearby.
Yeah. So anyway, she'll be hurt in the knees and the ankle. During this period, not to drive two-wheelers. Okay. Use common sense, no two-wheelers. When you walk staircases, be very careful. Don't slip. Things like that.
So would I be right in saying, sir, that the question is how she should get out of this, sir? So 6th house is Ketu and 6th house is disputes, sir, legal disputes also. And if you see Jupiter, sir, the dispositor is in the 3rd house in its own house. A lot of parakram should be put by her. A lot of effort, legal effort should be made by her. Would I be right in saying that?
Yeah.
She should go to court.
Yes. Jupiter in the 3rd is not a good combination for courage. You know that?
Sir, it's Maranakaraka Sthana, right?
It is one of that. That is one point. But more important is about Dhairyam, the courage part. Usually that's not. But if you drop that angle and simply say 3rd lord in the 3rd, what is 3rd lord in the 3rd? That's good, right? There's no doubt about that.
Right, sir.
Yeah. So that is a combination here. But a Shubhagraha versus a malefic is quite different. But 3rd lord in the 3rd, you can suspect. I mean, you can take advantage of, and you can say she'll be helped by somebody to solve this problem.
Maybe from Kobans, sir. Happiness through Kobans.
Yeah, some not necessarily. See, Koban is one way, but 3rd lord in the 3rd means helped. That's all, receiving help. If 3rd lord goes to 6, 8, and 12, not receiving help. If bad planets occupy 3rd house, not receiving help. So, because when you read straight from the book, 3rd will always be mentioned as sibling. But the real content of instead of the word sibling, it should be helped. Help. Because it's Sahaya Sthana, no? Sahaya Sahodra Sthana. Anyway, I think
how would we read Jupiter in 3rd house for this Patri, sir?
Jupiter in 3rd, definitely it is good because it's a Shubhagraha in the 3rd, right?
Yes, sir.
It's good only, no doubt about it.
Sir, her question is now, if she wants to win the case, like, is there any specific time that she can fight for the case where the opportunity is increased on her favor?
But for that, you need the partner's chart, right? To see how strong the opponent is. Or
Sir, this Jupiter is aspected by Mars and Saturn together, sir. Sir,
Yes,
seventh
Pawan.
lord is in conjunction with eighth lord, sir. There is a conjunction, 9 degrees conjunction is there.
Wait,
9
wait.
or 10 degrees
Seventh
conjunction is there.
lord. Okay, it's close. You're
Mars
saying
is conjunct with
6
Yeah,
there.
it's close,
How
9
much is there?
degrees.
6 there and 3 here. 9. Okay, within 9. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is somewhat connected.
Yes.
You're right.
Sir, her loss house is scored more than the gain.
Which one? This Ashavarga. Okay, this
Yeah.
one. Loss house has scored more. Okay. Yeah. See, but eventually any horoscope will have, something or other like this. But what we have to only focus on is that she's going through this Ketu. This is the prime thing. So this Ketu Venus is going on, and the Lagna Lord has gone to the 8th. So it is now a letdown, a period. And then this Venus became debilitated in Navamsha. So these are all telltale signs. Huh?
Yeah, so
But when do you think she will get a release from this problem and get out of this marriage? Any ideas?
Maybe Jupiter when it transits to 7th house.
That is, you are using it for a second marriage, right? Timing
Yes,
the
sir.
second
I
marriage.
was thinking that at the end of 2022 and the beginning of 2023.
When Jupiter
that's
enters
where-
Mesha.
Yes, sir. And also her 7th house.
That's what. That is only 7th house, right? So
Yes, sir.
I was thinking Ketu Mars, sir.
Ketu Mars, huh?
Yeah, it falls in the same time.
Almost, okay. Why Mars? It's 7th lord.
7th lord.
And also it wanted second marriage. So it allows the person to fulfill that condition.
That
And in,
and it is in Ketu and Mars.
Navamsha,
212 connection in Navamsa. So
but can we advise her rather than prolonging the fight and all those, like accept some loss, like a materialistic loss, and get away with it and move on and focus on her future?
So can we also say that?
No, Deepa, if she has been, what they call, philosophically, if she's on the right and they are in the wrong, there must be a fight, a Dharma Yuddha. You understand? You can't let people off like that.
Sir,
Yeah.
regarding this case only, this dowry case, because this is very personal to me. I have personally I've seen in my family, the case is opposite. The girl is already having an affair, and after marriage, just within a few months, their family has done all sorts of cases to my brother.
Okay.
And because of that, my all the marriage and all the expenses, everything is done by my parents. And because of that, even my father got a heart attack, and he
Oh my
just
God.
survived. So I just don't know, because of this dowry, this is this is a new weapon in a woman's hand, and they're using this 498A and this dowry as their weapon. So how can we say that this girl is, she's saying the right thing or the boy is saying the right thing? Because, if you do just false cases without understanding the ground reality of the cases, it actually destroyed the whole family.
Okay.
So yeah, so just my opinion is that just look the boys chart also, just understood what actually the reality is, because of the greed of the money, and people do all sorts of things. Don't know.
Yeah. You have expressed it from your
My opinion.
experience. No, it's experience based, right? You had a
Yeah.
where you know for sure that nothing was wrong, but
Yeah.
I think in this case, most probably she would have gotten cheated by her spouse, because eighth from Rahu is the 7th house.
Eighth from
Rahu.
Rahu is the 7th house. Okay.
So I use that as a method of seeing where a person will get cheated, and it seemed to work.
You've been mentioning this for some time, right?
Yeah,
I think you were quoting Saptarishi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in this case, that is since we see that, I think yeah,
we can say that she is really cheated. Huh? Okay.
Yeah, she got cheated, and if she wants to cheat, I think it'll be more related to the 9th house factor. But again, in the 9th house, Mars is there, which is the 7th lord. So Gemini sign.
Okay.
So do you have any techniques that you can use to really find out whether the person is cheating or not from your side experience?
Sir, Parashara says.
Sir, may I also add one point, sir? I don't know if this may be correct.
Please go ahead. We are not able to listen when here from Purnima. Hey, that's your baby.
Sir, from this Venus, if you see, sir, is the 8th in the 8th house, being the into the 7th. And if you see Venus is the Karak for spouse, it has an aspect from Saturn and Rahu. Would that in any way show some sort of cheating by the husband, sir?
Maybe some illusions will be there, maybe because of Rahu aspect. It is not 1/7 aspect, right?
Sir, when moon is debilitated, does that mean mind is weak, or is that something else regarding? I mean, just by debilitation, can we say like they have a good intention?
No, Deepa, but one thing is for sure, Guruji keeps saying the 10th Lord is debilitated, heavy karma hina. So and this is all at the end of the day. She has to go through this. So
yeah, she has karmic connection with UL. So that's why I if I were looking at someone's chart like this, I would say, okay, God.
There is one point. See, the problem when you say who is at fault, if you use a chart and find out so many fault in the past lives, they were at fault, right? That is the logic. Why would somebody have a horoscope with afflictions? They have done something in the past. So when you say who is at fault, that's a very difficult thing, because when you understand what I'm trying to say. The horoscope is showing this, right? So see, the Lord of Upapada is debilitated in Navamsha. So something has been done in the past, but that we cannot use it to justify what's happening to her. So I would still say she's on the weaker side. And most probably it is the husband who has done the husband's family, which is in the wrong.
Sir, Venus-Mars conjunction, can we take it seriously, sir? The 7th Lord and 8th Lord conjunction.
7th Lord and 8th conjunction is bad. Bad for marriage from the husband point of view. Because whenever you say 7th and 8th, it is dominating spouse. Husband who dominates. Okay. So if you connect 7th and 8th in any format, it will become domination or disappointment.
Sir, as per Parashara, when Venus is placed in the 8th house for a female horoscope, it says the women will be deceitful. But could we alter it by saying that, okay, here it's its own house?
Own house. Yes. Definitely you have to give importance to that. Own house status. We have to give. It's not the same. And it is not, in Shadbala, it is for some reason standing so tall. I don't know whether it is, how's the calculations? Maybe you should compare it with J-Hora also to see whether it is really that tall. 199. How much is that? This one showing so much. Okay.
199, sir.
You know, when we can answer this perfectly is when you can see the husband's chart.
Yes.
Then we can answer this very easily. You look at my comparison. Because in any relationship, there will be some share in any event that happens. A little bit here and a little bit there, right? Everything will come together. But I feel, at least from astrology point of view, she's weaker. That much I can see. Because already the fourth and fifth lord are in sixth house with Rahu and Ketu. And Rahu and Ketu is all about cheating. So cheating in matters of their heart, love and home. So surely it is, from this chart I can say that. But if I see the man's chart, then we can know for sure who is the, who's in the wrong in comparison. Okay.
And
Anything
this
else,
conjunction,
Manoj?
Venus-Mars conjunction is getting certain aspects, sir. This Mars-Venus conjunction. Yeah, this 7th, 8th Lord conjunction is getting a certain aspect. Third aspect.
Third aspect over Saturn is looking at Mars 80%, Venus 88%. Okay. So malefic looking at the third, at Mars.
7th Lord, yeah.
Manoj, was there any topic around children, like when to have a child? Some argument about children?
Sir, nothing happened with respect to children as such, because it was only her career, because she got a job and it was like she was earning more than the spouse. That is where the issue started, and that can be very clearly seen where the 10th lord is in the second house, where she is giving priority to her career over the family, and that itself is becoming a problem.
Okay, if that was a complaint, what if she gives up taking that job?
That is the question, sir.
Okay. I think it's already set into motion, right? I don't think, maybe if they can do some reconciliation, they can try. Because the problem is that the second marriage will also have to happen in Ketu Mahadasha. So that is the only concern here. In the order of the Asha, there is an issue. How to recommend the second marriage in a Ketu Mahadasha?
And Guruji, one last point. So, like someone said that I think you only mentioned whether she should leave the job or not. My own intuition is saying no, because she has two karakas, which is Sun and Mercury. You mentioned in an old video that they are the natural karakas for 10th house, and it's sitting there, and they are. I think one of them is a functional benefit for her. So, it's
even the other one is good. Even the 11th lord and the 10th is good.
Yeah. So this might only be the one thing that might motivate her to live, right? Because we all support pillar.
I got it. Yeah. At least this will be with her. The career will be with her. Though the other problems are going to hang around, the 4th lord and 5th lord problems. And marriage.
So this person has what you called as Sagada Yoga, isn't it? Jupiter moon when they are in 12th or 6th or 8th from each other.
Yeah, there's one of the, it's not that popular a yoga. Anyway, you can add up in the stack up method that Jupiter and moon are in Durdva Dasa Sastashtaka.
Which means it confirms that severe karmic effects, because there will be always ups and downs in this person's life. So.
Correct. Yeah.
And also Saturn seems to be playing an important role. She was born on 26th. Again, her nakshatra is Saturn. And,
okay. Oh, we didn't see that. Okay. There is a Saturn connection because the nakshatra is also Anuradha, right?
Anusham. Yeah.
There is Anuradha. Yeah.
So Lagna is also in Lagna is in Swati, yes. Sun is in Pushyam. Yeah, Sun is in Pushyam.
Too many Saturn connections.
Too many Saturn connections.
And she got married in Saturn period, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I think it is Saturn's way of bringing it to her and the karmic effects. So.
But the typical Sakata Yogam is always 8 and 6 axis only, the Shastashtaka. Not the Durdvadasa was not so serious in terms of Sakata, where the wheel, goes up and down. The wheel rotates, suddenly they will go through one phase up and then suddenly you will see them down. That is the 6-12, what's it? 6 Shastashtaka dosha. 6th and 8th from the moon.
And that phase will be what, 12 years, is it? Every 12 years, or how do we take
Yeah. 12 years, usually. But sometimes we have seen this in some horoscopes, I've seen it so perfectly working. Correctly, one phase they will be up, and again another phase they will be down. A very, very clear-cut evidence of Sakata Yoga working, but this 12th house, I'm doubtful it is going to give that kind of a result. Whereas her career, somebody mentioned that Sun Mercury is going to stand with her for a lifetime. So one is to find some methods of reconciliation, or simply start all over again and
Guruji, I have two questions. Since this person got married in Saturn Mercury, so here Maharishi Parashara is telling for the remedial measures to obtain
Mercury Saturn, not Saturn Mercury. Mercury Saturn, right?
Mercury Saturn. Yeah. Because Ketu Dasha, next one. So it's Mercury Saturn. Here it is.
Okay, and my second question is, Guruji, so earlier we were telling if this person would get back her things, or if she will get better in Mars Antardasha.
Okay.
Ketu Mahadasha, Mars Antardasha. So here Maharishi is telling
not get back, but separated, right?
Okay, so here they were telling the effects like acquisition of land, village. She will be having increase in wealth and cattle. She will be laying out new garden, gain of wealth by beneficence of the king. So maybe she might get back. But here, if the Mars be related to the lords of 9th or 10th, so that is the thing he's telling. But here for her, Mars is in the sign of Mercury.
Oh.
So Mars is in 12th from Ketu in Navamsha.
And also, Guruji, Mercury Dasha. So here for the remedy, Maharishi Parashara is telling to do Mrityunjaya Japa. So can she do that now?
Mrityunjaya, yes, she can.
So the remedy for that Dasha when she got married, can she do that now as a remedy, Guruji?
Even for Ketu Mahadasha, this is second lord.
No,
she should.
I mean, the remedy can be always done even later on, even if it was not done exactly at that time. Yes, you can.
Okay.
So even for Ketu Dasha, it is better because it is second lord, right, sir?
What is it?
Ketu Mahadasha is running. Is in the beginning of. She is in the beginning of Ketu Mahadasha, and Ketu is the lord of second. In that case also.
Second. Yes, definitely yes. Any connection with 2-7 or any other special mention about Maraka by the sage, you have to say yes to Mahamrityunjaya.
Yes, sir. Because Saturn is also in conjunction with Ketu, so it's there.
Any other inputs before we? Manoj, anything else you would like to mention?
No, sir.
Okay,
So
done,
Ketu
right?
Mars is not favorable for marriage, right? With the Navamsha
Mars.
It's in 12, like Mars is in 12.
That's why we said they might be separated in that period.
No, we have a problem because it's not so easy to solve this because Ketu is a 7-year period. She's just about 2 years into it. So a lot more to go.
Also, Guruji, Saturn transit right now, it is in Makar, and then later on it will be in Kumbh, which is Aquarius, and then Capricorn. So right now it's going to a 4th house, and then also it will be in the 5th house of romance, children, and then again. So the next around 4 to 5 years, even if she remarries, she gets another guy, if she wants to start a family or anything, it is still going to be a difficult period. By the transit also, like if we leave all this, just with transit, in keeping it in mind of Saturn, because Saturn is delayer and overall it's not a very good planet. For her, that's also one more aspect. I don't know whether we discussed this point or not, but the transit, because I think you mentioned the transit about Jupiter, but I think Saturn was left out, because Saturn is also major transit for her.
Correct. See, what will be the fundamental remedy, irrespective of whatever has happened now? Even if this marriage all this did not happen or not, what would you have said if you had seen this person's horoscope 10 years before? What is that she has to do?
Mahamrityunjay Japa?
Because not that Homa, from the correction point of view of the horoscope type itself. Something about the type. I'm sure some students in the beginning did mention about it, but at that point we didn't speak about the permanent corrections, the remedies for it. But what is the problem? Why is this marriage in trouble? What is it aimed at?
Maybe we could have suggested if this chart was seen 10 years before marriage, not to get married on Antardasha. Sorry.
Okay, that's a point. Okay, that is one. But I'm talking about a permanent correction style. Some remedies which will be for an ongoing thing. Most of the time, she'll have to do one remedy. What would be that remedy?
Keep donating with regards to 12th house matters.
No, it is about 5th house matter.
Yes.
You see, the result of a marriage is children. The most serious thing about marriage is only children. So if one has putra dosha followed by putra dosha followed by a pitru dosha, like because Mars is in the 9th, then surely you should give importance to orphanage, taking care of her. So it is wanting to annul the marriage based upon the objective that she should not bear a child. Okay, but the fact that the Lord of the 12th is in a Kendra, she will get married. Second time. If 12th Lord was not in Kendra, and 12th Lord is not afflicted by the sun, because there is a good gap between sun and Mercury, 9 degrees and 25 degrees. So she will get married again. But even then, the problem of children will not go away, because Rahu and Ketu are like this. So this is something about her past, not the current life, past life. Remember it, whenever the 5th Lord goes to 6th house and then connects to Rahu and Ketu, then the 5th from the 5th has a malefic. It is a surefire rule for something very bad done to children in the past life. They must do a prashchit prayer type. I'm sorry, extremely sorry for whatever I may have done to children in the past life. And here I am in front of an orphanage and I want to reverse all that. I'm going to take care of someone else's child. Okay. Without all this, simply by reading textbook, what would you have said for 5th Lord in the 6th? Basic statement. 5th Lord in the 6th.
Enmity with children.
No, read from the book. Deepa, you're having the book.
Buying a child, I think. Buying
a child, paying for a child. Yeah, paying for a child. When you say paying for a child, there is a lot of payment for this. It's not so easy. Money has to be. These people are trying to take her money only because of this. You understand? So the money part is coming because of that. So to get an adopted child, or a lot of expense are there. You do not know how many horoscopes I'm having with me with 5th Lord in the 6th, Rahu Ketu affliction, mentally affected children, dyslexia, the autism, and so on and so forth. So more than this marriage, I would say she should first concentrate on this, the 5th Lord in the 6th with Rahu and Ketu, and give milk as much as possible to the orphanage, and do the
sir, I have seen a chart with same ascendant, sir, and the 5th Lord Rahu is in 6th, sir. The child is has autism, sir.
Autism.
Rahu
Okay.
itself.
Okay.
Rahu
itself.
itself going to 6.
Yeah, because it is the fifth lord there, right? So fifth lord in the
Yes,
sixth is a disease for a child, and so many times I've seen it happening. Therefore, much more than this is only that one, because the fifth and the fifth has reconfirmed it. Always give importance to this. Okay. So whatever this will be uploaded on patreon.com because we didn't see anything. Yeah.
Sir, how will be the Venus Dasha, sir? The next coming is Venus, right, sir?
Yeah,
It is in 1 in 8.
I was about to say that even if she crosses the Ketu Dasa, Venus Dasa again is in a debilitated spot in Navamsa, isn't it? So,
no, in that way, what happens is after going through a problem as a kind of a condition satisfied, it won't have the same intensity next time. That is one way. Second thing is there is a second marriage. So best way to give them a solution is make sure the future husband does not have a fifth lord badly placed. That will be the most important thing. And hope for the best, because having gone through this problem, looks like it may not give again the same result. And do horoscope matching and try your,
Venus in the, Maharishi says, Venus is placed in 6, 8, 12, the Mahadasha, loss in business, distress to wife, destruction of cattle, separation from relations, inimical relations with kinsmen, it is mentioned. So I think
whatever it is, that own house has to be kept in mind.
Okay.
That own house alone has to be kept in mind. But it is not the same as own house in Kendra, right? So that's a different yoga altogether. She missed the yoga, but Lagna Lord in the 8th will definitely, they have to go through some problems. It's not so easy.
Sir, in D7, Venus is in 5th Lord is in 5th, sir.
D7, 5th Lord in 5th. Yeah, correct. Venus. So there is a child in Venus Mahadasha, right? Okay.
Which is a continuous effect. They have to say Mrityunjay mantra as a continued remedy as well.
Yes. And more important, I would say, the orphanage continuously, and encourage her friends also to go along with her to the orphanage and take it as a life project that she will take care. And then the rest of it will get straightened out. Then thanksgiving to Pitrus of the, like Amavasya, thanking the Pitrus. Please allow the Vamsha Vriddhi to happen. Because Mars in the 9th is a kind of, especially because Mars is sitting in Mercury sign, right? It's arch rival. So because of that also.
And they're getting an aspect from Saturn.
Saturn, correct. Yeah, we missed that. Yeah. Saturn aspect. So the dosha on the 9th has increased by all these aspects and occupying, but in a very good improvement because the 9th lord is in the 10th. So
and Mars has 100% aspect of Jupiter, sir.
Yeah,
100% aspect of
Jupiter. Yeah, so she can definitely manage it. She can change it by parihara, by going to the gods, 9th house.
So, since you mentioned about orphanage, just a point which it might help others also. Since orphanage or adopting a child can be very big financial burden, there are websites like sosworld.com and many other websites in which you basically pay a certain amount, quite reasonable, and they take care of the child on behalf of you, or certain like 2-3 people.
That's what when we mentioned the adoption, we never actually meant adoption. We just wanted to say sponsor a child in an orphanage, because adoption was easy those days. In the days this remedy was written, but today it's very complex. So please do not recommend adoption straight away, because she will have a child in the future. Why should she adopt? Instead, take care of a child in an orphanage for the rest of the life.
Okay. Manoj, any chance do you have the date and time of marriage?
Right now, I don't have it.
Yeah, it's anyway Mercury, Saturn. We got the Saturn is in the 6th that we already concluded. You want the date?
Someone said the SOS and like that for children to help children. Can they send the links or like that in the group?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'll just send it. Just wait for like 2 minutes. I'll just search for it and send it on the chat box.
Okay, thank you.
I know an NGO in Bangalore who take care of the children who got, their parents died in COVID. Both of their parents. I can also give the contact.
Yeah, please. Yeah, please.
Trustable NGO.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, please.
Okay, sir. Thanks a lot.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes, sir. I've put it in the chat box. People can.
Yeah. I was waiting for that. Youth for Seva. No, but above that. Okay. Worldschildren.org. Is that correct? Okay.
Yes, sir. There are two separate links. People can visit the either one. Like they're good, and I like they are very genuine with all the documentation. Like they have good websites and they're well established, so the money is not going to waste.
Okay. Wait. In that case, I'll send this to Manoj. Chat. Manoj, keep it there, and I'll take it back from you. Put it on.
Guruji, won't it be more better if there was a direct interaction rather than just?
No, I'll always prefer that. Okay, because there will be a soul connection to the concept. But in case you are not able to do that, then this is the next best option. Yeah.
Plus, sir, this SOS Village, as I mentioned, they have most of the metro cities they have. So basically, you sponsor the child, and the child gets taken care of in a home or a village sort of thing.
Correct.
So you can actually visit them. You get letter from them. Like just check out both websites. It's a good.
See, what Prahlad mentioned is, when I visited an orphanage first time in my life, I had seen it in movies, but when I went and saw, the next 1 week I was having this, the sadness in me, because I was just wondering what would happen if we take a birth like that, where we don't have parents. So the impact a direct visit will have on you is quite different. Maybe you can have a direct visit to an orphanage and get the feeling of an orphanage and what the children are, and then maybe do this offline in online transactions. That will be better.
I totally agree, Guruji. When I visited, I experienced that.
Correct. It will be heartbreaking to see that in reality. Though in movies we can see a little bit of it, but okay. But when you see it in reality, see, and sometimes it's so. They also see, whenever I give the full day food for the orphanage, what they do? They will make them sit, and with the food in front of them, they have to thank us and all that. I'll say, my God, why are they making them do this? Why should they even do that?
Sir, but it is, I came across a girl in orphanage and she really stood out in the crowd.
Okay.
And when I asked the background story about her, and they told me that both the parents were extremely rich people in the city.
Oh my God.
But they were in love, and then they broke up. So since they were all both rich families, they abandoned the child in orphanage.
Oh.
So this was when she was a baby itself. So, and I was just thinking then, in spite of
Can you say why this fault is such a huge fault? Why is this such a big thing? Just a one line idea.
They can take care of the child, but they are not taking.
No, what is it? Why can you compare this and make a statement?
In the next birth, they will have this putra dosha because they are not taking.
No, not that.
No,
even an animal will not do this. You have to see how much the parents protect the young ones in any wildlife.
Yes, sir. It's an instinct, sir. Yeah.
It's an instinct. Only human beings are capable of this. Only if you are on that the child's shoes, only then you will understand what it is. Otherwise, you can take it as lightly. What is so what? And it's like you're in jail for so many years. So it's something very bad.
won't the child also have certain negative things in our chart that?
But even then, we are supposed to take it as unkind act only.
Yeah, it
Even
is an
then.
unkind act from the parents' perspective. What the parents did, they will get the same karma again.
Yeah, but then what happens is that when you look into the chart only, you can confirm which side is actually the. Sometimes there could be, how does karma work? I know what you're saying. It is the the chicken or the egg type story in karma theory. But in reality, there is a chance that something not indicated can also happen to us.
Yes, sir. Krishna says that to Draupadi, that, it was not your karma that made the Haran, but it's actually their own bad karma that Kauravas, they had to descend.
Yeah, so there is a space for some karma to act separately without a pre-existing something that comes into the free will portion, and that comes under a chance. So you would be hurt in this life. Maybe you could get compensated next time, but that person is setting in the motion a new negative karma which he has to carry for a longer time. So only the horoscope can reveal it. There's no other way. Otherwise, you'll have to think who is at fault. But if you see the child itself as a fault, then we can say the child is also at fault. But in this, the best way to understand it is both are at fault. It will become like that.
Yes,
both are at fault. But there is a chance that sometimes it may not even be that. It will only be some fresh something has happened.
Sir, related to karma, you're talking. I have one question. We saw the chart of a girl where she is struggling a lot, and what if, according to her karma, she has to go through that portion of painful event in this life? And as an astrologer, what do you like when you suggest a remedy and saving her from experiencing that bad events in her life? Will astrologer get a negative karma added to his? This was a discussion we had in a clubhouse. I said I'll check with my guru and come back. So I'm raising this question, sir.
Guruji, Parashara, I believe it is said that if you see an affliction in chart, you're supposed to rectify. You're supposed to make it better. You're supposed to act and work upon it. So the remedies we are giving are not like throw some stones here or there. No, the remedies are also helping.
No, my question was different.
The logic is we are trying to. We are teaching somebody how to escape the karma. Okay, that is the point. So you will have to pay the price for it. Somebody has to pay the price for it because you are. Actually, it is not true. For that matter, even if a doctor is saving a lot of people, he will not incur any bad sin. Logically, you can say that the patient is destined to go through this trouble, but the doctor is doing something to alter it.
But even doctors get infected.
That is a physical thing. Yeah, actually, in a way, mentally we get affected. I have lost a lot of interest in life in several ways because of all this everyday dealing with problems. So I don't know. Long time back, when I was every Thursday I'll be going to Shirdi Sai Baba temple. During that time, now I'm doing it at home. When I used to go, every time I'll take somebody along with me. I have this bad habit of always needing somebody with me. And this time this was this guy, and he had been 1 or 2 times to this particular guru, this temple. And he asked me, why is Shirdi Sai Baba keeping his face mum? He's not smiling. Why is he like this? I said, what is there in life to be smiling about? It's always only trouble. So it's like that, So when you keep reading and when you experiencing these things, you feel so sad. But for astrologers who are not thinking of life like this, then it is quite different. For them, it will be like, wow, one more client.
Also, Guruji, you mentioned, one of my peers mentioned that, how that karma has changed. If you see Savitri, it's very popular thing in Hinduism that how she actually fought, even though her husband's death time. Satyavan and Savitri thing, how she saved her husband from Ramraj, even though it was his karma to die. So, and a lot of times, we can't actually escape our karma 100%, but through remedies, at least, we can reduce it. We can reduce the intensity and the burn.
See, but in all this, it is always a do it yourself. So there is no other transferring which happens to some other person. It is only it's only based upon you. And moreover, it is not even a bypass or a tricking something. It is your duty. I'll give you an example, simple example. Suppose you owe money to the bank. Okay. And then the bank comes after us. Okay. Comes after you. So what is the solution? If I ask you, what will be the statement in this class? How will you give a solution for this person?
Repay the debt.
Yeah, that's the solution, right? It's a simple logic. You repay the debt, you find peace. Your problem is solved. Whereas the bank will come eternally after you. Now, suppose I'm going to repay the money. Will you say I'm selfish? I have vested interest? Or will you say it's my duty?
Duty.
So therefore, when you do any remedy, it is not any cheating. This is the duty. This is what you have to do.
Rectifying, sir.
Yeah, you're rectifying. It is not some favor you're doing to the bank. Don't say I'm going to the bank and say, okay, manager, keep the money. I'm doing you a favor. He'll say you are doing a favor to yourself. You understand? So people got this wrong. So there are people I met, so don't help anybody. Right? That man is supposed to go through the suffering. Who are you to change it? God will be angry with you. God put him there. So let him suffer. So you shouldn't help one single person in this world.
That question was more with respect to the karma theory, but I also there was we had a lot of conversation in that group, and then there was an astrologer said that he will not read a chart on so and so date like Amavasya or something, and he'll ground all his karma through some anushtana and all. He said, and I was like, since I'm a student, so I don't have much answer to it, so I thought I'll just check in.
The best way to come out of all this controversies and debate is just follow what the masters did. They said fate can be changed by doing the prashchit. That's all. After that, why should we trouble ourselves with a debate?
Also, and Guruji, in all the Puranas as well, there are so many, people have attained moksha. Even an elephant has attained moksha.
Yeah.
So regardless of
always, regardless of anything, you can change your future. So, yes, but that it is not so easy. It happens a little rare. The Satyavan Savitri story is quite rare, right? It doesn't happen so easily. Because usually we ourselves will give up. We won't have so much fight. We'll say, okay, what to do? This is only life. We will give up. And what is the point? Once you go to philosophy part of life, even death is not a very important thing. Because you're only going to be reborn. Okay, so, I mean, these are different perspectives of the same situations. From what angle you are talking about. When Krishna, when Sri Krishna, when Arjuna says, I can't kill these people, especially this person or that person, he says, even if you don't kill them, they'll be killed. By time. In time, they will die. So look at all the old men, slowly. So it'll anyway catch up, right? So, okay, you saved Satyavan. How long? Think about it. That story is not told, right? Anyway, that's interesting. That's just to prove the point that you can pray intense prayers can change your life. See, I have two infertility specialist doctors in Chennai as my student and client. I have proved them over and over again. This adoption-like activity, just taking care of orphan children, has reversed the infertility problems for many people. And the latest was in their own family, they tried upside down, they couldn't do it. But when she came for a consultation, everything changed. Yes, so the karma remedy can work, but for this, so many arguments are there. That is a problem. Why remedies? First, you think about even God. Does God exist? Is there God? The problem answering this question is, why are you disbelieving in God? Is because of some reason. I'm going through this trouble and I don't see God is helping me at all. Do you think God is there? So you got the wrong picture about God. God will help you. If you don't get help, there is no God. This is one way of, one reason why people disbelieve in God. Okay. Somebody is typing mercy versus justice, Merchant of Venice. In Merchant of Venice, Shakespeare writes, the quality of mercy is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. It is a two, when I give some help to somebody, I am benefited, he is also benefited. This is the only transaction where both are benefited. Okay.
So you read the book. I'm very happy, sir.
No, I remember what was relevant to my, my philosophy. It's not that I am well read. Okay, I read very little, but whatever I want, I picked up.
But
I haven't
your
read the
answer
Bhagavad
gave me
Gita.
clarity, sir.
Yeah. So the point is, suppose you are Arjuna, okay, and you have Krishna with you all the time. You also seen his Vishwarupa. So you know for sure he is the Lord of the universe. And you say, oh my God, I have such a VIP friend. And then Abhimanyu dies. How will he handle it? And Sri Krishna prepares him gently for that event because he knows what's going to happen. Can you come up with some analogy to say why God doesn't help us in this situation?
Guruji, so one of the ways I looked at is like the universe like a mother. And for example, a pregnant woman, she cannot control what is happening inside the womb. Like there are two children there, the kids could go do this and that. She can't exactly say, come out. Okay, only the kid has to come out when the time is ready. So the mother can't, push or give a command. Just like that, we are living inside this cosmic universe. We are the children. We have the karma and right to do whatever we want. So God cannot always come and interfere.
Okay, good example. I'll give you a better example because we all been through school and we are all written exams, right? Suppose you don't know the answer for a question in the exam hall. The teachers are all, the supervisors are all teachers, right? Let's assume they know the answer. You call them and say, please give me the answer. What will they say?
Obviously, they'll not give answer.
Why?
You try yourself.
They are supposed to give, no? They are teachers,
But
no? They are supposed to do that.
All these days they have
the
trained
exam.
you, and you are supposed to write the exam on your own, at least on the exam day. They taught him all the years, right? Throughout the year.
So can I say, bring my maths teacher because I don't know this answer. I want to contact the maths teacher.
It's like judgment day, sir. Nobody can help you on the judgment day.
The judgment day is always happening all the time. It's not one specific day, like in the, okay, it's not one specific day. Something
Or
which is
with
coming.
respect to, if I try to connect to your example of Krishna and Arjuna, and this is a rule they have to follow and go through it. Even God can't.
See, the teacher part, the helping part was given to you as an opportunity. You should have done it properly at that time.
Correct.
Once you have slipped from that and you created a sin, the same God will say, now I will not help you. It is a system created by him, right? He created the system of dharma and adharma, punishment and reward. Then how can he go against it? He can't. Because if he goes against it, he's not God. Do you understand this? Let's say this is a teacher and she comes and helps me. Is that a teacher? She's a corrupt teacher. Because other students will
They
say
are
you are
not letting
corrupt.
us develop, sir.
No, not only that. The other students, what will they think?
Yeah, corrupt. Yeah.
So the fellow who studied day and night when I was watching TV and playing games, he was studying and sweating it out. What will he say? Oh, this God is so unfair. With great difficulty, I'm fighting and I'm studying and getting good marks just to get a job. This fellow doesn't study and he's just contacted God and he's got the help. God will say, I can't do that. I'm a judge. I have to stand by justice. You had your time to study and you faltered in it. You were given opportunities. Do you
There has been exceptions when we look at moksha, but other aspects there is no exceptions. But when it comes to moksha,
no, moksha is a completely different topic, totally out of the box, completely different. Within this framework, this rule works. There are no rules at all, no, because it's an out of the plane of reference. It's completely in another level. That topic alone, everything else will work perfectly here. So you cannot say, why didn't you help me, and so on. So most of the times, disbelief only this. When did you start disbelieving in God? Sir, I was a great believer, sir. Sir, I've gone to this temple this many times. Then what happened? My father passed away. That moment I became an atheist. So God existing and not existing is only based on your father's lifespan. So that is the only logic you have. Why he should have saved? And how are new children born? They are somebody who passed away somewhere else and they're taken birth here. If you don't kill them there, how will you be getting babies here? Okay, some souls of the animals have shifted into the human world, but beyond that, the number of people waiting, they have to be born. So it is a big cycle of what we call recycling. The same iron and steel melted, now becomes another car. The same gold melted, becomes another jewel. Like that we keep coming. And so how can you complain to God? Please don't kill, don't give death. He'll say this is the order. This is the way it has to go. It'll go in cycles. All these things goes in cycles. Everything around is only cycles. The same season again and again, the same birth.
The planets
the planet cycles, everything again and again cycles. So if you see a scene today, a lion is pouncing on a deer. Oh my God, how sad. How sad, like that you'll say. But the deer was living for a long time. So you are now complaining there's no God because the deer is dying. But if the deer is not there, the lion will die. So now the arrangement is that the deer will be permanently there, the lion will be permanently there. But in between, one lion will be eating so many, and eventually this lion will die. By the time, more deers will come. So if you see at any point in time in the video of Earth from outside, you will see lion chasing a deer. From an eternal point of view, no problem for God. Because he says, there is deer, there is lion. But for us, because we're seeing that deer alone, we'll say, oh my God, this is unfair. Why did God do this? When I was a kid, I saw on painting in Chandamama story. Now all the animals live together. So there is so much happiness there, it seems. So lion and deer is standing. Yeah, lion is standing next to the... So I was saying, oh my God, what a beautiful earth this is. But in reality, can that happen? When Prahlad will play a game in chess, he will definitely want to beat the other person. Now I'm coming with a game where everybody wins. How is that? Everybody will get 100 marks. And what do you do with the 100?
It will become boring, sir.
It will become boring. So you look at the earth. So the earth will always have this scene. This tiger is running after a deer. Then one more deer will be replaced. One more lion will be replaced. So God will say, I have no problems. Only you people have problems. Look at the human being. They're becoming old. In ISKCON, they have this beautiful painting. The baby slowly becoming a man, then becoming youth, attractive, then slowly bending and falling down. And then again, one more cycle like that. It goes like that. It goes forever. What a beautiful concept. Whereas if you take a machine, a Yamaha engine, and and you make it run continuously without any additional inputs, it'll not last even 2 years, non-stop. Look at the heart. Beautiful technology with valves, with blood going here and there, wiring. All this has been given by God. And yet you want to say there is no God. Because
small parts, sir. Everything.
You look at everyone, one complaint will be there. It's very difficult. It's very, so much of problem. Everyone, believe it or not. This man will come to me, sir, I've invested in this. It's a total project of nearly 6,000 crores. Now a little bit of problem is there. Now only the value has changed, but somehow everything else remains the same. Same indigestion problem, same health problem, this problem, that problem. Everything is the same. So this is the nature of karma. We have to accept it is right. It is going to be like this. Nobody is going to defeat this logic of Buddha when he said there is suffering in the Four Noble Truths. What do you do about it? You can't do anything about that. So that is the reason why Buddha concentrated only on correcting the karma rather than God, because if you believe too much in all this, you will not do the corrections. But in Bhakti Marga, if you do it properly, you will get corrected automatically. Because of your love to God, then the rest of it will start falling into place. You will not be a sinner again. Like that, so many things can happen. But in Jnana Marga, it's a little difficult, more difficult. That is the reason why Adi Shankara's last song was Bhaja Govinda. See, whatever logics you use, arguments, nothing is going to really be useful. Just believe in this bhakti that you know Mahavishnu, and then be ready. Pray. This is the only thing that is going to save you. So we have a range of these things. But within that, there's so much of drama going on. As long as the drama is there, this is our drama. We created it, and you cannot involve God in it. See, you are the one. Even in that Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is there, proving that God is everywhere. But he is not participating in actively fighting the war. Because if he wants to fight the war, it is so simple for him. There's nothing, but that will be very unfair, right? If he sends his discus and kills everybody. Anyway.
Sir, it's getting late for you, sir, actually.
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock. We started at 8 o'clock, is it? Oh my God.
Yeah, 3 hours.
Okay, this will be uploaded on patreon.com. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody from Vellore? I'll be giving a speech in Vellore on Sunday.